Well, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I got a little pain in my hand. I'm pretty sure I broke it. But yeah, it's nothing compared to getting a first round finish, especially over a guy like that. That was like best case scenario, and I wasn't, really leaning on that. So yeah, I'm on cloud nine right now.
There was a lot of talk about your family being in the audience, and if it would be, an extra push or if it could be extra pressure. Doesn't seem like it was extra pressure, but can you kind of talk to me about what it felt like in there?
Yeah, I thought about that, but I just kind of like mentally had to check out. I had to, as I become a father and, I'm taking care of them a lot of the time. My wife stepped up when I get to the end of training camp, but most of camp, I'm right there with her, taking care of them. So I'm not being gritty and mean and getting in that killer mode all the time. It's not as easy. And I just knew that today I needed to wake up and be that killer.
And you mentioned wanting your children to see you do what people talk about you doing all the time. Why was that important for you?
It's pretty personal, but I don't mind talking about it. I get all choked up. They're at the exact age that I have all my memories right now, and there's been plenty of times in my life where people talk to me about things that happened when I was younger, and it doesn't really mean as much to me because they're just stories that people have, that I don't really relate with because I don't remember. So I just wanted them to be able to have the experience and not just hear stories about me.
How would you feel if one of them decided they wanted to fight?
I would encourage them to do whatever made them happy. I would let them know that it's a very hard life, and I don't wish it on anyone. I think that if you got to be a little, you got to want it. You got to be a little crazy. As most of us are, we're a lot of the fighters are fighting demons, or there's just something in them that makes them need to compete. So I mean, if they have that in them and they feel like they have to prove something, I would never tell anyone not to chase their dreams, but I hope that they become scholars.
When you were getting emotional, I think the fans for a moment thought that maybe you were retiring. Was that ever an option coming into this fight? Not that I think you should. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, me and my wife talk about it all the time. It's just fight by fight right now. So, I mean, this was my 40th fight. It meant a lot. But, to me, it's about performing. And I performed. I performed well, I feel like. So, we'll have that discussion. And yeah, I'm not surprised that people are doing that because people tell me that almost every day. They're like, "Oh, you're still fighting? I thought you retired." Like, that's what I'm at the point now where that's what people say to me all the time. So I get it. I've been doing it a long time. But yeah, that's my decision, and me and my family, and yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Some days more than others, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
And on that note, when do you want to get back in there?
Maybe mid-year. I talked about maybe dropping to 135, just to, switch it up, try something new. I know I can make it. I don't know how difficult it would be, but this was one of the easier cuts I've had. I feel like I'm just naturally a little lighter than I used to be. I guess I'm just not holding on muscle like I was before, but yeah, that's a possibility. The one thing that I would love to do still is they're building a big arena, a 10,000 person arena in Palm Springs. That'll be done by the end of the year. And if I could get the UFC to have a fight night in Palm Springs, I'd stick around for that for sure.
In a perfect world, who would be opposite you in the cage for that fight?
Probably Uriah Faber. See who the real king of Cali is.
That's great. I think the fans would love that fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Cub, congratulations. You said on Wednesday that it was time for the team captain to come out and get a win. You know, Rafa Garcia got one, Chris McCate. Now team captain got a first round knockout. How does that feel to get that and
Yeah, it feels great. Me and my partner Monty, we have Bloodline Sports Agency, and we manage just a small group of really talented guys, and we're not trying to have this big roster. I just kind of got it thrown into my lap, and they're guys that I've been helping out for a long time, and I just didn't want to see these guys go anywhere else and just be treated like another athlete on a roster. You know, some of these guys have like 150 guys on their roster, and I want to give them special attention, and so yeah, I'm the team captain. I help manage, but I'm the team captain. I help train most of them, yeah, we had a rough start. None of us won in the beginning because I think we all had a lot of things going on, and so for us to kind of turn around and we're all winning now, it feels nice.
Earlier today, Charles Jourdain called you out and said that he wants to fight you, and said that you looked at him weird, and he wants to fight you. What's your response to that?
I like him. It was the first time I met him at the PI this week. I shook his hand and everything. I actually appreciate him. You know, he wasn't trying to. He's called me out maybe 5 or 6 times, and I even asked the UFC for that fight a while ago because he's exciting, but I think he had a couple losses at the time and it just didn't work out. But that's always an option. But yeah, I like him because he calls me out respectfully. He's like, yeah, I'm a fan, but I want to fight you. I can't hate on that. If I had the opportunity when I was young to call out somebody I really appreciated and you want to test your skills, I think that's cool. I think that's a way better approach than trying to be disrespectful. So yeah, I like him a lot.
You, Aldo, and Oliveira got wins this past month. I mean, OGs.
Yeah, Clay Guida.
Clay Guida as well, man.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Yeah, I mean, Clay texts me before every fight, and him and Darren, they train together at Alpha Male now, but he still texts me just saying, you got this, buddy, and just he's they're all good dudes. But yeah, it makes me proud. It makes me proud to be in that group and see all these guys keep doing it, because like I said the other day, I've been in this so long that there's been multiple times where this new guy comes up and he's the next big thing, and then he loses a few after a little bit, and then he's retired, and it's like, where'd that guy go? So I've seen people come up and down and up and down, it's crazy, and then some of us are just still doing our thing.
And then finally for me, this is just one I've always kind of wondered. This is your 40th fight. If you could choose one rematch to have, who would you want to rematch?
Oh man, all of them. But I mean, I think people always wanted to see the Aldo fight. It didn't really got started. I always felt like the fans wanted that one back and deserved it back. But yeah, I mean, we're both still around, so you never know.
Awesome. Congrats to Cub.
Thank you.
Cub, tremendous job tonight. I think Ms. Swanson had that NASA jacket, and it makes sense because your performance was out of this world. What's going on with this longevity? Like my man said, with what was in the water in the WEC? Ronnie Yaya, Dom Cruz, Jose Aldo, yourself, you guys are still around, and not just around, but relevant and turning away the up-and-comers.
Well, I really felt like it was a blessing in disguise, because we literally did everything the UFC fighters did, just on a little bit smaller of a scale. So we were able to, get all that media things, but just on a little bit less scale. The fights were big, but they weren't as big. So I feel like we all kind of got mentored in a sense. And then we really, we're like a brotherhood. We every fight, the UFC was pretty stable. The WEC was still, they'd be like, in the fighter meetings like, hey, there's an executives here. I need you guys to go out there and do your thing. And we all would take that challenge like, yep, okay, we're going to go out there and fight our hearts out. And so I think doing that for a while and then us getting to go over to the UFC and show that we weren't a lower organization, you know, we just happened to be over here, not, you know, and we got to fight on a bigger stage. So I think that once we got the opportunity to fight in the UFC on the bigger pay-per-view cards and stuff like that, everybody shined.
No doubt, man. And you mentioned that arena opening up in Palm, so that's the end of 2022, so that wouldn't go live until 2023?
No, it's actually supposed to be done like August, September, because so the new NHL expansion team, the Kraken, their lower league team is the Coachella Valley Firebirds, and their season starts, and it's supposed to be open for the opening of their season in August, September. So it's supposed to be done. So yeah, I'd love to be there.
That'd be tremendous. Then let's do it at 135. You and Jose Aldo part 2.
I mean, that could happen. Yeah, and then as long as Rafa Garcia gets on the card, he brings all of Mexicali, I think we could fill the house.
That would be awesome. And last but not least, it's December, but this is Cub Swanson month. Daughter being born, your birthday, that Hu Choi fight, and tonight the icing on the cake. What is it about December that you just really fired on all cylinders?
I don't know. I always seem to be fighting November, December, and historically I've done pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really plan it out like that. I think overall I'm less concerned with Thanksgiving, and I'm excited about Christmas. And that's always been a little bit of a motivation. So, but yeah, I'm going to try not to eat too many tamales and get back in the gym.
Sounds good, man. Well, here's to the OGs. Congrats, sir.
Thank you, sir.